Hi everyone and welcome back to this week's realistic roleplay video. So today, me and my sister Ash, we are going to be looking for some new horses. So there are going to be two parts as this is quite a big deal. So today we are going to be looking at 3 horses for Ash, and then next week or the week after we'll be looking at some horses for me. So let's get straight into the video. So our first destination was at Marley's paddock. We did walk over here as it is just next to the manor. So we headed over to Marley to tell him that we arrived and for him to show us the horse. So once I got over there, I told him that we arrived and he showed me where Ash's first horse was going to be. Over here were the horses that were available. We decided not to go for the black or the white horse, they were a bit too advanced, but for the little pony that was over there. Once Ash had tacked up her horse with the gear that we brought with us, it was time for her to test out her hunting horse. So Ash has been looking for a little horse that she could do for a project with a hunting horse. So while she's jumping over these little jumps, I'll tell you a little bit about this horse. So this horse over here is called Firefly. He is a 7-year-old gelding and he has been quite experienced with hunting and show jumping previously. But he is very experienced and Ash did want more of a horse that she could learn to train more rather than one that was really prepared. But this is good as it does mean then she can go straight into competitions rather than having to train a horse and do everything else. The downside is that because he is more experienced, he is a little bit out of our price range. He is 6,000 Jorvik shillings and we wanted kind of around 5,000, the max we could spend. So if Ash really wanted to buy this horse, then we could really consider it. But what do you guys think about Firefly? Tell us in the comments below. Stop was at Moorland, so we went over to Jenna to tell her that we had finally arrived here because we did run a little bit late as we did spend a lot of time at Marley's. Ashley talked to her and tell her what she wanted in her horse, and Jenna said that she had the perfect one waiting for us. So she told us where the horse was, so we went over to the welcoming barn and got her out. Ashley was very excited about this horse. This horse was the perfect kind of horse for her, but we had to see how she rode. She is a younger horse. She is around 5 years old, nearly 6 years old, and isn't very experienced in hunter, but that is something Ash really wanted to work with on getting a horse used to hunting. It was the first ride that Ash had on winter. She passed the first wall really well, but then when she got to the post, she refused to jump over it, so Ash just went back over and did that little run again. So she jumped over the wall fine and it was time to see if she jumped over the wooden pole, and she did, and the next one, which was a great improvement for Ash, and she was super happy. What do you guys think of Winter? Do you think she'll be a great contender for Ash? Tell us in the comments below. We have come to Starshine Ranch's rescue barn area. They have a boarding area for all their race horses, and then they have a rescue area for all of their rescue horses. So we came over to the rescue area manager and he told us which horse Ash was going to be trying out. So we found out the horse was a 10-year-old Irish cob who had been in serious condition back in her old home and was abused. So he told us to start off gently with her. So once Ash had tacked up Autumn, you can see they started to bond really quickly together, and this was really nice to see, as considering Autumn had a really bad past, it was so nice to see that she was bonding really well with Ashley and getting along. I decided it was time for them to pick up to a trot as they had gotten along so well together, and she did this really well, and then Ash brought her up to a little canter. She did just quickly stop there, but that was really fine. But look at this lovely canter that they have together. That was so smooth. Once we arrived in the little paddock area, Ash encouraged Autumn to start doing their little run. So Ash did make up a little course that they were going to try out, so let's watch them and see how they do. So she easily passed the first bail and they bonded really well, so I think that was why they passed it. Sadly she did halt, but I did tell her don't worry and to turn around and try and re-jump over the jump, if that makes sense. So she did a really nice loop around and just encouraged Autumn to go. So she managed to jump over it, and she didn't really make that jump, but she went through the hay bales as a little gap, which is understandable, and Autumn did manage to clear that jump. So we only did this once or twice as the owners told us not to push her too hard. So what do you think? Should Ashley get Autumn? Thank you guys so much for watching this week's realistic roleplay video. Please tell us your thoughts on which one of the 3 horses that Ash should get in the comments below. This will really help us. And I forgot to say that Autumn was worth around 4,500 shillings, and the brown pony was worth 6,000 York shillings, and then the white horse was worth around 4,500. So please tell us what you think in the comments, and look out for part 2 of when I go and try out some horses. Bye guys!